The K-pop blast is officially making its comeback. This is the first episode and I am getting serious about it. So let's get the comeback started right now. What is going on, everybody? My name is Nick from MWK-pop and I want to welcome you back for another episode of the K-pop Blast, a show where we're going to talk about some of the latest K-pop news and keeping you up to date with the newest rumors for new releases. For this comeback episode, we're not going to be talking about much relevant news or anything that is super recent, but more going to be talking about two stories that I really want to talk about. One of them has a personal meaning to me, or is a little bit of a personal story for me, and the other one is just a little bit of fun that I want to have. So let's get the first story started. I don't know if you guys are aware, you probably are because you're K-pop fans, and of course you would know that the Dream concert happened a few weeks ago, the biggest stage that any K-pop group can perform on in Korea at the very least. And of course, it is a really big deal to be on it. It must be a really exciting time for any groups that get to make it. Now, of course, if you're a group that performs, you don't get to watch yourself perform. You don't have very many chances to watch yourself perform. And of course, it will be exciting, even more exciting, of course, to see your face on the TV as the performance, the stages get rebroadcast. So when it came to the broadcast time for that SBS was putting on of Dream concert, there were some groups that got cut from the broadcast, unfortunately. And for those groups who were, eager and really highly anticipating seeing themselves on TV for probably, one of the doing this stage, which is one of the very rare times that they will get to see themselves perform at a concert of this scale on TV. How do you think that they felt when they did not actually see it happen? So the groups that got cut, I have a list because the list is quite long and I can't remember them all. So we're just going to read through the list. We've got Boys Republic, CLC, Speed, Monsta X, Lebum, Romeo, Sonamu, Hyosung, TR, and the collab stage of J-Hope and Yukyom, which, if you notice, most of those groups and performers and collaboration stages are not the popular groups. They're the ones that only got to do because, of course, haven't been around for very long. At least one song, at most two, depending on how long they've been around, which is not really a bad thing, and it's understandable why they were cut from the broadcast because, time constraints. It's like 30 groups that performed, and there between 30 groups and other collaboration stages and special performances, special songs and stuff like that, there's a lot of time that this thing takes up, and it of course probably has to be cut down to fit within a certain time frame on the on the broadcast that they did on SBS. But unfortunately for the rookie groups, they were cut, and it makes sense that they were. But the surprising thing to me is that, of course, you've got Hyosung, who had her solo comeback just recently, which was cut. Tiara was cut, and then two popular guys from two really popular and up-and-coming boy groups. I guess you can say they've already made it, but they were also cut for their special performance, and that one is a bit surprising to me. But the whole thing that I'm really more focusing on is that, like, as a group, as a rookie group even, to make that stage is, I think a pretty big deal. Of course, it means something to any group that gets to perform. It's not just like some meaningless performance. And, you have to be excited. You definitely have to be excited, one, to have the opportunity, and two, to even get to see yourself on TV at that performance, at that stage, and all that stuff, which has to be absolutely fantastic. And in fact, Lebum were so excited to get to watch the performance on the broadcast that they posted they made an Instagram post saying that they were that they were excited to be watching their performance on TV. And of course, if you realize, they were one of the groups that got cut from the broadcast, so they didn't actually get to see it. And I'm thinking about that. I'm like, that must have been that must have really sucked, because it's like, if I were, say, I don't know, invited to be on a panel or something at a convention, we'll say like KCON or something, because that's like the biggest one. But any convention, anything, if I was invited to do, be on a news show or doing anything like that, and I'm expecting it to be on TV or on YouTube, or there was going to be uploaded somewhere, right? And I was looking for it because, of course, I want to see myself on the video. I want to watch myself because I'm a narcissist and I like that sort of stuff. And it didn't happen. I would be really, really disappointed because, of course, you know, having this opportunity to do this thing is a really, really big opportunity. It's exciting. It's, you know, something that you don't get to do all the time because it happens once a year. And, you know, I want to be able to watch that and relive that and all that stuff. And I'm sure these groups want to do the same thing too, but they didn't get to because they were cut from the SBS broadcast. The upside though is that apparently the MTV, I don't know they had an MTV in Korea, but I guess they do. But MTV rebroadcast the show in its entirety. So if they were focusing more on SBS, which of course is the more, you know, popular, you know, the big name new, like, I guess, TV station, TV channel, TV network, I guess, in Korea, as opposed to MTV, which really isn't, but it also is a big name anyway. But seeing, you know, yourself on the SBS broadcast is a lot bigger than MTV, I think. But still, you want to watch yourself on TV, you want to see yourself perform. You know, there was MTV who did the, you know, rebroadcast the show in its entirety. And then, of course, I mean, I can find all of these different performances online as well, I believe. I haven't really looked to see if I can find any groups that are supposedly cut, but I bet you I could. But yeah, it's just something interesting. You know, I have a bit of a, you know, personal feeling with that. I can empathize with the possible feelings that some of these groups had, you know, when they ended up getting cut from the SBS broadcast. And I don't know. I mean, it's not really anything that I'm like, shame on you, that I've been like, shame on you SBS for, because of course, you know, it's a big channel. They got a lot of programming that they're trying to fit in, you know, in a 24-hour period. And for a special event like this, it's a one-time thing, but they have to cut some stuff, you know, alter their, you know, the programming schedule for that day that they usually have, and fit this in somewhere, you know, where it doesn't affect the entire schedule for the day too much. So I understand the problems that the broadcast company faces, but as a, you know, someone who would have been super excited to see myself on TV, I can definitely empathize with what the groups were feeling. So yeah, so that's all I got to say about the Dream concert broadcast that SBS put on. So now it's time to close it out with the final story of the day. The final story is one that has a personal significance to me because it revolves around Ladies Code, and Ladies Code is a group, one, that I really like, and then the accident that happened back in November was a really significant, I guess, event in my life, as far as, I don't know, just events in my life. You know, because I think that everybody, or a lot of people, have that event where like a celebrity or someone does an activity that they like, who's, you know, popular and famous, that they have, that, you know, something bad happens to them, you know, and it's a really, and they have, it's a, I don't know, it's just one of those, you know, experiences that everyone has. You know, somebody dies or there's an accident or whatever, you know, and it has a bit of an impact on your life and your outlook on things. And this Ladies Code accident really was that one for me, which I hope never ever happens again. But the reason why we're talking about Ladies Code is because over the last few months, I guess you can say, there have been rumors that have popped up that a Ladies Code comeback is in the works. And just recently, Polaris Entertainment has responded to those rumors, saying that the company is planning on a Ladies Code comeback at some point in the future. It's just not going to, or they're not planning on it being this year just yet. And they're saying that they're holding off on it, or they're not making any plans for it, just because they want to give the girls more time to, you know, get through whatever their problems are that are coming from the accident. You know, because they say, of course, they could look perfectly okay and they may be able to function normally, you know, lead a normal life, you know, on the outside, but on the inside there could be some lingering things that could pop up and cause problems in the future. And I really do appreciate that, considering that over the last year, a couple of scandals from a couple of companies have really increased the perception amongst fans that the companies don't really care too much about their idols or the performers that are signed under them. And I really do like that a company seems to be taking a bit of an interest in caring about the well-being of the people that work for them and are the ones who were kind of half responsible for making them all of the money. So it's really, really awesome to hear that. And a ladies code comeback has got me really, really excited. I really want to see another ladies code comeback, but I don't want to see it happen before it's, before they're ready, because it just, if they're not ready for it, it's just not going to be it's not going to be the best comeback that it possibly can, I don't think. And, I really want to see them have a good comeback, not one that's just like they're doing it because they have to do it to stay relevant. But I mean, it's really good to hear that that Polaris is continuing to, or is planning on continuing with the group, and that even the members themselves are planning on continuing with music, because, on one hand, I would totally understand why they would quit doing music and, just sink into obscurity or go and do something else, not as ladies code. But I definitely do understand why they would want to continue on as ladies code as well. So, on both sides of the argument, continuing with it or quitting it, totally understand. And I'm really, really excited to see what they're coming back with whenever that is actually decided. And the other thing that was included in the Polaris announcement or response to these comeback rumors is that they are planning on holding a memorial concert in Japan on August 22nd, I believe is what the date was that they said. And that is really, really interesting to me, because it's, just based off of that information there, it's really interesting because it's in Japan as opposed to Korea, which is a bit curious to me. But they did say that the reason why it's in Japan is because Rise, who is one of the members who passed away, said that, or one of her dreams or hopes was that Ladies Code would have a solo concert in a big arena in Japan. And so Polaris is gonna make it happen. Not really specifically ladies code in general, although I would assume that, the three remaining members will probably get to take the stage there as well, or maybe they won't, who knows exactly. But either way, it's fantastic. And, they're doing it a bit as a memory for, one of the members, dreams for the group that they were in. And I think that's really, really nice. The Polaris company, I guess the Polaris Entertainment family is, getting together, and a lot of the groups and other performers and idols, minus Clara, because she's not, Clara is a completely different story, I'm pretty sure, but they want to, get together and help put on this performance. So I think that's really, really fantastic. So I'm really happy for this memorial concert. I'm also even more happy and really excited and interested for a ladies code comeback. It's going to be fantastic, and I think that they're going to get a lot more support than they ever have previously, which I think is fantastic. So yeah, those are the two stories for this episode of the K-Pop Blast. I do hope that you enjoyed it. We're back to the normal schedule, as I said. Well, so the next one is going to be on Wednesday, I believe, if I remember the schedule correctly. Wednesdays and Saturdays are when the K-Pop Blast is released, so look forward to the next episode on Wednesday. So before you go though, don't forget, please get connected with me on social media: Twitter, Facebook, KakaoTalk, Instagram, and AskFM. Check the description for the links to those profiles. Click on those, follow me, like me, whatever. And before you go on this video, also, again, please leave a rating on the video. It's much appreciated. It helps me out and it helps the channel in general. So that's going to be it for this episode. As always, I'm going to thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.